Hi, my name is Bethany, and this is episode 1 of what I think I'm calling the library. Today, I want to talk to you guys about some of the books that I return to on a yearly basis, as well as the top books that I have either memorized or they're comfort reads for me. So these are also books that have had a profound impact on my life. So let's get started. I'm a devout Christian, and so I would be quite remiss if I did not mention that the Bible has been a source of incredible strength and comfort and refinement and encouragement. And on days where my life is good and seasons where my life is just wonderful, this is an incredible source of encouragement to me. But on days where I felt like I was drowning and seasons when I wasn't sure if I would make it, when I have gone through hard times, it has been this book that has been the anchor of my life. So I would be quite remiss if I did not mention this book. This copy is actually, I hope you can see it. Like, it's like worn here. This is the book that I used when I was a teenager. So there's I don't know if you could see, but I underline in my Bible and I highlight and onto all different scriptures. So the edges are quite worn. I go back and forth between other ones. But I dearly love the Word of God, and so of course I had to share that. Okay, and this one is called The Go-Getter by Peter Kine. And this book is a source. I have read this book every single year since I was 15. And it's a great self-help book. I think sometimes when we read self-help, like, we just want to be told what to do. But the stories that we connect with the most are the ones that are actually in story form, right? And so this is a story about a go-getter, and it tells you through the story how to be one. This is my dad's copy. He's the one who introduced this book to me. And so I stole this book from my dad 20 years ago. I understand the irony of telling you that I'm a devout Christian and then immediately telling you I stole this book. But my dad knows that I have this copy, and hopefully he knows I'm not returning it because while I love the story in general, I'm quite attached to this particular copy, probably for nostalgic reasons. That's why there's grace, right? Okay, so a new tradition that I've started a few years ago is I read the Christmas Carol. A lot of people watch a Christmas Carol movie, like the Muppets Christmas Carol, but I prefer reading the book. And I think that this is just such a charming way to usher in the Christmas season. And it's interesting, right? Because I start the year with this one. I typically read The Go-Getter between January and March of the new year. And then I finish the year with A Christmas Carol. And I love that tradition of beginning a new year with a book and finishing the year with a book. So I actually have quite a few copies of this because one of my favorite things to do is to have different editions of favorite books. So let me show you. Okay, so these are my other Christmas Carol books. So I don't have a lot. Sometimes I go and I don't get a new one every year, but occasionally I'll see one and I'm like, oh, well, that's quite lovely. I will tell you that the first Christmas Carol book that I got at a thrift store for maybe $1. And so recently I saw an edition of A Christmas Carol and it was $88. And I was like, it's so expensive. It was beautiful, but gosh, it's so expensive. So anyways, a good comfort read for me is Catherine Ray. But particularly Dear Mr. Knightley by Catherine Ray. Dear Mr. Knightley is inspired by an old book called Daddy Longlegs. And this story is a series of letters that Sam, the main character, or Samantha, Sam writes to her beneficiary who is funding her education. And I love Sam so much. I primarily love Sam because she is a reader. like me. And she reads the same books like me. So she likes Little Women, and Jane Austen, and C.S. Lewis, and Tolkien, and Jane Eyre, and she reads all these wonderful books that I love as well. And so there's a lot of book references in this book that I find very comforting. I read it when I want to cozy up with a book and I just want it to be a comforting story that I know so well. I go here. In fact, this book was by my bed. It wasn't even in here. Two books that I read as a child that have changed my life, and that I have memorized, if not all of them, all the words, the majority of them, is one, A Charlotte's Web by E.B. White, and two, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe from the Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis. And I loved these books as a child, and I adore these books now, and they have had an impressive impact on my life. C.S. Lewis is one of my favorite authors of all time, and I'm immensely inspired by him and his works and his life. And I love this story so much. And then Charlotte's Web is the reason why I don't like to kill spiders, and also the reason why I want a pig as a pet. I would be very remiss if I didn't mention this one, Harry Potter. I love Harry Potter. In the last few years, when reading was difficult for me because I was sad or stressed out or going through a hard time in my life, I returned to Harry Potter. And it was so comforting to read The Boy Who Lived and just enjoy the story and not have to think, which was wonderful. I truly loved it so much. So, also, like J.K. Rowling, she has like subtle little references where I feel like she's referring to J.R.R. Tolkien and C.S. Lewis. So it's another reason why I love these books, because it's just so, I just love when literature references literature. So anyways, that is episode 1. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much. You've all left such lovely comments. I really appreciate it tremendously. And I look forward to sharing with you on episode 2. Have a great day.